What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? It's Dan here from Cryonoir. It's time for another update on Re. This is going to be a quick fire devlog. It's going to be super quick, in and out, bish bash bosh, big smile on your face. Thank you very much. By the end of the last devlog, I was trying to rig my player character Re to get her into the game. I'd tried using both Maximo and AccuRig, but both came with different issues and none of them were working exactly as intended. Maximo didn't kind of do the weight painting particularly well and wasn't directly compatible with Unreal's mannequin, while AccuRig had different issues. So it was time to try another way of rigging a character. So for the game rigging tools for Blender add-on. I mean, this was in fact very, very easy to actually rig the model. However, when it came to doing the weight painting, that did not work. Blender has a paint with automatic weights option. However, that didn't work as intended and it kept throwing up this weird error, which is apparently quite a common error and it can be fixed with a paid for plugin. But, you know, I'm cheap. So, time to get stuck into weight painting by hand. There were some initial teething problems, as there always is with Blender, but once I'd restarted it a couple of times, it seemed to be playing ball. Eyeball, that is. I think I was perhaps a little enthusiastic with the weight painting though, because when I imported it into Unreal, her ribs seemed to expand quite a bit more than was really reasonable. So it's time to head over to Zuckerberg's care home for the terminally underwhelmed and ask around and see how everybody else did their rigging. A couple of people said that they used AutoRig Pro, and at least one person said that they had a plugin that worked really well with Maximo. But I got loads and loads of comments all saying that now in Unreal 5.4, it comes with like a super easy retargeting, and you can actually rig something from scratch. Now, can I just say, like, obviously they've got a lot of talented people over at Epic who do all of this work, and I just don't understand why the ability to rig a character natively Unreal wasn't in there from like day one. Like, it just seems like a real huge oversight. It doesn't really make a right lot of sense to me. They spent all this time, like, for instance, like doing their software-based version of global illumination, which is called Lumin, and seen as like everyone's gone over to like hardware-based ray tracing using like RTX, and even AMD have got their own version. So they spent all that time doing the software version. Just seems a little odd. And yeah, I mean, Nanite's amazing, and the world streaming, and all of these really cool high-end tech things. But like, you couldn't even fucking just bring in a mesh and rig it yourself within the engine. It just seems like a huge oversight. So, but anyway, it would appear that they have addressed that now. Anyway, I started the project again, only this time in UE 5.4, and it did not work with Visual Studios. I had the latest version of Visual Studios with the most recent update. I'd set up an editor config file, which it doesn't do automatically and you have to do, and I'd also set up a shader tool config file, again, which you have to do personally, and I'd done that, and every single C++ add-on, library, tool, everything that had C++ on that you can name was installed. But yet, still, absolutely no dice. Okay, so that's where I am at the moment with the game. So I'm going to introduce you to a lovely little illustration that I saw the other day, which is like, you have an idea, you then start a new project, and then you tell everyone about the new project, and then you have a new idea, and then you start a new project. We're very much firmly we're now in the start a new project sort of thing. So I'm fucking done trying to make this fucking FPS. I've moved it over to Godot and started fucking around with Godot, and I didn't like the coding language in Godot. I'm really weird. I just like semicolons at the end of lines, I've got to say, and you don't do that in Godot, and I was like, no, I'm not happy with that. And I almost went back to Unity, and I went back for like a couple of days and started just tinkering around with it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is why I left Unity, I remember now. So yeah, so I'm sticking with Unreal. But I have had an idea which is going to hopefully reduce the need for rigging a main character and coming up with fuckloads of animations and everything. So there will be a new DevLog series. But I mean, if you look at this, like, I mean, we started out as an FPS. I had like an idea to do a boomer shooter, which was going to be like cel shaded, sci-fi thing. And then that kind of morphed when I actually built the character, and I was like, oh no, actually I'm probably going to make a third person shooter. And then it's just like, I don't know, I was never really sold on the boomer shooter. I wanted to make a boomer shooter back when I first started my game development. If you look at, like, I think it's my second or third game making journey video from about 8-9 years ago, however fucking long ago it was a long while ago. I started making a boomer shooter, or started playing around with the idea of doing a boomer shooter in Unreal. And then, we had like Doom 2016, and then just the whole world and his wife were making boomer shooters. There's so many of them on Steam now, so I'm just like, yeah, well, they're popular now, I'm not jumping on another fad. I had the fad, I had the idea long ago, nobody cared then, and I didn't execute it. So I've had another idea, which I'm going to execute on. And I think I've spotted, well, I won't say niche in the market, but I've spotted something that nobody else is making, so that's going to be quite exciting. And I have already started it, and I am already further along in the space of about 2 or 3 days of just getting stuff in, because I'd already semi-started it before doing the boomer shooter. I've already got further with that in Unreal than I'd got in the boomer shooter, so, like, I'm already further ahead. So anyway, I hope you come back for that one. Stick around. This is the end of Re. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Quickest devlog ever. Take it easy. Bye-bye. And then, like, kick the camera. It's always good.